doing in my room? You're not supposed to be in here. How'd you get in? Oh, I guess you're watching me on YouTube. Hi, I'm Craig, otherwise known as FTFE. Today, me and my friend Will are going to finish going over a very early debate of mine with Flat Earth Aussie Iron Horse Jesus, batshit crazy dude from Australia. Flat Earthers from Australia and Southern Hemisphere in general really confused me because, you know, where's Polaris, right? Okay, anyway, yeah, so that's what's happening today, and I hope you look forward to it. I hope you're having a good week. It's Thursday. Tomorrow, I should be having another debate with King Nico, because I guess I hate myself. And then Saturday and Sunday, I don't know. Saturday, actually, we will be doing some TikTok Flerf hunting if we hit the Super Chat goal. So look forward to that. So this is a live stream, if you weren't aware, because you're here watching. And that means that if you're here right now, you don't get a choice as to what happens. You just have to watch and do, you know, deal with it. If you're watching this as a VOD later on, you can skip forward the next 90 seconds because it's an intro with like music and stuff, and I know some people don't really like that. But if you're here watching live, there's a very simple rule. The rule is that you dance. If you don't dance, I will send Daniel Pratt to your home. If you do dance, I promise I'll send you a cookie.
Flat Earth expert Mark Sargent thinks the moon landing was a hoax.
Technically, the moon itself is a hoax.
Right, but betting with Sportsbet's new iPhone app?
I could do this standing on my head.
Thanks, Gravity. Sportsbet's new iPhone app. It's foolproof.
The FTFE Show. Welcome to the FTFE Show. Welcome to the FTFE Show. Earth thinks that evolution is real. Chemtrails don't exist, vaccines work. Climate change is happening, we landed on the moon. The FTFE Show. Welcome to the FTFE Show. Welcome to the FTFE Show. Scooty, it's not alright. Baby, it's not alright.
We're living on a disk, floating through space, with a tiny sun.
Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing well. Not you, Gary. You know what you did. Today we have part 2 of me and my friend Will, and if my assistant slash person trapped in my basement is kind enough, they could link Will's channel in the chat and you can go and subscribe. Will has recently done some debates on modern day debate, including debating my good friend Beardy McGee, Flat Earth Aussie Jesus, who, believe it or not, is only 7 years older than me, even though he looks about 907. He's also debated Austin Whitsitt, which we will get to covering at some point as well. But we got about half an hour through my 7-year-old debate with Flat Earth Aussie Jesus, and today we're going to finish going over it. So let's get Will on screen so we can say hello. Oh, and I haven't set the screen up right, so that's going to be fun as I do that live. Fuck it, we'll do it live. Right, so we need to have that as number 4. There he is. Will, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel.
Hey, FTFE, I'm happy to be here.
How you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing good. I'm ready for the more self-punishment with watching Aussie Jesus.
You did debate him yourself, and you know, how was your brain after that?
You know, I had to put ice over my whole head and try to just pretend I was a different person for a couple hours, and then I came back and I was able to forget the whole thing to try to recover. So
now, when you did debate him, how old did you assume he was?
How old did I assume he was?
Yeah.
Not younger than 60. Like at least 65, or if not older than that.
Crazy,
right?
The dude's only 49. Like for the first like 4 or 5 years of me being on YouTube, I referred to him as Flat Earth Granddad because I assumed he was an old man. But I guess just being dumb ages you. I'm not sure what it is, but oh my goodness me.
I genuinely don't know what he's doing to his body. Like, it looks like he's trying to accentuate his oldness. Like, he has a beard down to his ankles. I don't know what he's doing.
He did shave his beard off recently, and, you know, I wish he hadn't, because that was terrifying. I could see more of his face, more of the dumb.
No, we don't need to see more of the face. I like the hair covers the scary dumbness.
We've got a super chat going on, guys, because you can support the channel with super chats, or you can support the channel with memberships if you want to become a member, or gift memberships. You can also, if you feel like just avoiding giving YouTube any money, send me a donation directly at paypal.me/FTFE. If we reach the super chat goal, and even if we don't, but you know, it's there for fun, on Saturday I will be doing some Flerf TikTok hunting. I'm just gonna go live and then open TikTok and join as many Flat Earth lives as possible and see how many we can get banned from. I'm going for 5. I reckon we can get banned from at least 5 Flat Earth TikToks. That should be fun. Hello to everyone in the chat. Hello to PhD Tony, my good friend. PhD Tony, we're going to get you to talk to my friend Robin as soon as possible. He said next week possibly, if you're up for that. Hello Stoops the Cat. My thoughts are with you, my friend. I hope you're well. Zoomy, lovely to see you there. Uncle Charlie, the 11, the Turtle Moves, Rubiks in my basement. They can't get out because I've kidnapped them. JSS Tiger, lovely to see you there. Brandon, how you doing, my friend? Rachbot, of course, the AI I programmed and then got loose, and I'm sure will one day take over the planet. Syrian, I'm happy to see you all here. If I haven't mentioned your name, that's because there's so many there and I can't read them all out. We've got Rubiks says for $2, I think Riker is the worst Star Trek character, but Riker taught me how to sit down. What do you mean? You put your leg over the chair.
What is wrong with Riker? Riker was badass.
Riker was definitely one of the better first officers. I mean, certainly better than Mr. No Personality Chakotay.
Yeah, no,
like
Riker
the only thing noteworthy about
it.
Chakotay was that thing on his face, which was inaccurate anyway.
Chakotay.
But Rubiks is actually going to go and see Jonathan Frakes very soon, live at a NerdCon, and hopefully show them my Star Trek tattoo and my dog that is called Riker, named after them. Derek the Dullard for £5 says, hey Craig, your fitness journey inspired me to lose 2 stone since October. I'm now 12 stone 6 pounds and I'm the strongest I've been in 20 years. Well, good man, I am very happy for that. I love inspiring people. It makes me feel good that I've encouraged others to try and get fit and healthy, because I was a big old fatty for a while. Yeah, like I literally am half the man I am now. I think they retired that previous clone and then they didn't have enough materials left to make another one the same, and so they just made this one instead. J Girl, who's been a member for 5 months, says you owe me a cookie. Yum. I promise you there will be a cookie in the post in the next few days.
And you said PhD Tony is in the chat?
PhD Tony is in the chat, yes, my good friend.
And he's debated on Modern Day Debate many times, right?
Yes, he has. He's debated a few subjects, but obviously he has done Flat Earth a few times. PhD Tony's actual main PhD subject is in modeling seismic waves on a Flat Earth model, interestingly. Because, you know, modeling locally is useful. But obviously that doesn't, the modeling simplifications don't work when you go outside of that. But I do find it very interesting that one of the best globe Flat Earth destroyers has a PhD dissertation in a Flat Earth model seismic thing, which is hilarious.
Yeah,
but then again, his job is also finding gravity with satellites, so that's always fun.
And I would definitely say, like, I think that's one of the reasons why I really enjoy watching PhD Tony debate on Modern Day Debate, and I want to support him on there because I think he does a really good job.
Yeah, one of my favorite things about Tony is he's really able to break down the Flat Earth arguments extremely well. And that's because he's an academic. I'm just a lowly dude with 2 BScs. I'm an engineer, first principles, very much like yourself. Whereas Tony has gone through the academic ladder and understands the way that people don't think, I guess. And he sees where their stupidity comes from. Whereas I just like to laugh and point at the stupidity and tell them why they're wrong. Tony has this very good ability to break down where the stupidity and misunderstandings is coming from. Also, it's fucking hilarious when he rages out, which is why we have a Krakatoni emoji in the chat.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like it when when he shows his passion. That's always the fun parts. Yeah, love that.
Flerfs supervisor says, Jonathan Frakes used to live in Belfast, Maine. Pretty nice guy. Oh, did you meet him? That's awesome. I've heard that Jonathan Frakes is actually one of the nicest guys in show business. You hear a lot of things about a lot of people in show business being complete assholes. Like Kirk, William Shatner, is a bit of a dickhead by all accounts. No one on the set of the original series enjoyed working with William Shatner. William Shatner has blocked me on Twitter, which is fun.
I didn't know that. I thought he was cool.
That's thanks to a dumbass called Unirock who used to be around on YouTube and started attacking him for some things. And because I was in the same sphere and I said hello to him, he blocked me. So I'm blocked by Captain Kirk.
Ugh, damn. That shows
I
you
don't
can
mind.
have an impact.
He's a douche. Clive Wells says, PhD Tony once went on a stream in a Star Trek shirt. What a Trekkie. Who'd wear a Star Trek shirt? Yeah. PhD Tony says, my specialty is geophysics, and I adapted a flat Earth seismic model to a geophysical application. Yeah, I understood all those words. I promise.
Sounded really smart there, PhD Tony. And I know you are.
Jess's Tiger says, are you still good with Patrick Stewart? Of course. Me and Jean-Luc, we're like that. Earl Grey, hot. Hello, Max. How you doing? Nikki, welcome to the chat. So we got about half an hour into the stupid. And we needed a week to recover, basically. So, I thought it'd be good to come back once our brains had recovered from Flat Earth Aussie Jesus. I don't think I'll ever debate Flat Earth Aussie Jesus again, mainly because he hates me, but also because I think he's batshit crazy. Not just stupid, but I think there's something actually wrong with him. And I feel a little bit bad sometimes poking at him. But at the same time, he's also basically a Nazi, so I kind of don't give a fuck.
Yeah, no, I think all flat earthers have something going wrong upstairs, but I do think Iron Horse is more. I think there's something more wrong with him than a normal flat earther.
Yeah.
In all honesty.
I mean, he lives in Australia, and anyone that lives in Australia and thinks the Earth is flat is extremely special, and not in the good special kind of way, in the back of the short bus licking the window kind of special. The favorite breakfast is the purple crayon kind of special. The mum used soft spot as ashtray kind of special.
Australia. You can't being a flat earther in North Hemisphere is still horrible, but it at least close to make sense. But on the Australia, it's you might as well just pretend to be a solipsist or something. It's the opposite of everything. Where does the sun go at night?
Cat says that Flat Earth Bible Jesus is a grifter because he makes fake books with AI. I have heard that he makes a fake book. He's released a couple of books that are clearly written by AI, and even the AI seemed to think that he was stupid, which is always fun. But Stoops, I know you've been going for it recently, so if you want to come back on for a chat at any time, feel free, because I definitely do want to save you from the flat Earth stupidity, and I feel like you are more than a worthy cause. But once again, Stoops, after what's happened, you have my thoughts are with you, mate. And if you need to talk outside of the flat Earth, globe Earth debate scene, just to have a chat, then I am here for you. I've given you my number. You've got my email. Please feel free to reach out whenever you can. All right, so this was a debate I did about 7 years ago on Non Sequitur Show before it was killed by Kyle Curtis and Steve McRae. If you want to see how Steve McRae ruined his life, just type in how Steve McRae ruined his life onto YouTube and you'll find a fun video I made. And as you can see, I was a big, bold fatty at this point. Goddess Engineer on the bottom left there is awesome. You should check out his channel, but please ignore Steve McRae. He is a stalker piece of shit that has now become uber MAGA, which is just disgusting. Yeah, gross.
We don't want that.
I just want to reiterate for people that what Flat Earth Jesus is saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, you think craters on the moon are made by bubbles popping from the surface?
As it was made, as it cooled.
Yeah, just to remind you all.
What an introduction to what he's saying.
We kind of covered this near the end of the stream last time, but Ross there, Flat Earth Aussie Jesus, now known as Iron Horse, thinks that the moon was dug out of the Grand Canyon by giants, filled with helium, whilst it was the quartz that they dug out of the Grand Canyon was still cooling, because they dug it out of the Grand Canyon, melted it into quartz, filled it with helium, whilst it was still cooling. And that's why there's craters, because as they filled it with helium, when it was cooling, it made bubbles, which popped. And that's the craters. But then he mocked me for saying it's Earth's natural satellite, of course. The sun, by the way, is an interdimensional portal to the light of God. Yeah. Yeah. Also,
that just sounds like Occam's razor to me.
He also thinks that pendulums are controlled by demons and are just used to summon spirits or something. And he also thinks that, and this one always blows my mind, he thinks tennis is CGI. Like actual tennis that you watch on telly.
Of all things, tennis is the real conspiracy.
Did I show you that last time?
I don't think so. Oh, tennis is CGI? Why would he think that?
All right.
Just because there's a glitch?
I'm gonna show you that before we go on.
Tennis is why? I'm guessing it's because there's artifacting in the video, just like how there's in ISS footage.
Okay, well, this is a different sort of video. It wasn't one I actually intended to make in any way, shape, or form whatsoever. This is just looking at the television.
Oh,
And if you look closely,
television.
which I recommend you do, you can see this isn't actually real.
Oh my
footage
God,
at
he's
all.
right.
This is all
It's CGI.
CGI rendered whatever crap.
I mean,
He's
ignore
not
the
pointing
thousands
anything
of
out.
people in the audience, you know, the actual people that were there, you know? Ignore that, of course.
But he hasn't said anything. He just shows it and he's like, see, it's CGI, but isn't saying anything about what we're looking at. He's just saying it's CGI. Like,
wait,
point
to hear
to
the reason.
something. What are you talking about?
I mean, you know, these are real people that, you know, were there in real life.
How do you know that?
I mean, I've met all of them. We had a meeting last week.
the
In fact,
CGI
I'm finding it
tennis
very
meeting?
hard to tell through
I bet.
through my camera.
What about it is
When I
CGI
look at
looking?
the television, the television. You can see how some of this is actually real footage, and some of it is computer generated.
I mean, just look.
Which
look
part?
Look at the
real
stadium.
footage, and some of it
Like,
is
how many people do you
computer-
think are in that stadium? Like, 9,000? Maybe more? Like, that's humongous, right?
It's a freaking stadium. Like, what? Why would they fake a stadium? Stadiums exist. I don't like. What is this conspiracy here? There has to be something more. Come on.
images, or as we call it, CGI. Which I find is quite interesting because they're putting this on for some reason or another after tonight's grand final. Tonight being the 30th of
Oh,
July.
good camera work there.
And that
Yeah.
clock's always a few minutes fast.
How do you know
Really
that's
like
not
that.
CGI? That's a CGI clock, I reckon.
This whole video is giving CGI.
That's about
How do you know Iron Horse isn't CGI?
Oh, he can't be real. I refuse to believe he exists.
How have you ever looked at, I've seen him, he looks CGI. Whenever I
Yeah,
talk to
absolutely.
him, honestly, that whole debate I had, CGI.
Yeah.
It's nearly midnight. And we're showing this stuff. Clearly computer
Oh, that part was
generated
definitely CGI. That would never happen. Oh,
Here's the reasons.
And I believe
Eventually.
this is done in such a way, well, not just to get people out of the pubs and going home, of course, but because they're getting us used to watching computer-generated imaging as though it's reality.
So there's the reason that he gives, is that it's CGI because they're trying to brainwash us into thinking that things we see are real when they're actually CGI.
okay. I see. This is like the most ultimate form of gaslighting ever. But he still hasn't said any part of the video that looks like CGI. He's just saying the whole thing looks like, or parts of it look like CGI. What parts? What parts look like CGI? I don't know what you're talking about.
The funniest thing is when you read the description. I don't recall filming this, but I sound somewhat sober, so I'm saving it here before deleting from memory totally. Get that into you. I mean,
This man, get this man off the internet. This man should not be amongst the people.
I mean, this was clearly in the day room, right? At his mental institution. He sneaked back in after they're supposed to be in bed. That's why there's no one else around. Like, the TV's normally turned off at this point. He's come back out. He's picked the lock, got out of his room, and he's gone into the day room and turned on the television.
Oh my God. I just don't. He's just not supposed to have access to the internet when he's in the institution. Malpractice.
The Turtle Moves for £2 says Cliff Richard at Wimbledon is definitely CGI. Jay says Tiger $5. Iron Horse is onto something. I mean, on something. Yeah, he's usually not sober. He once debated me from a bath whilst drinking beer, and both me and James from Modern Day Debates had to censor out the part when he stood up in the bath.
This man is freaking is just a satire of a human being.
Like a glass-like object. So that's why it's semi-opaque. That's why during a full moon, when the sun hits it from the top, it glows like a lamp because it's semi-opaque. It's basically a great, big, giant glass bauble.
The sun is not semi-opaque. What a ridiculous and fucking stupid thing to say. That's the moon. No, that's not I meant that. And that's not semi-opaque in any way, shape, or form. You cannot see through the fucking moon.
No, because it's quite big and it absorbs the light, and it stops the light from going all the way through until we see it when
observation of when we can see through the moon. Come on.
He's in one of our debates. One of the main things he kept going on about was how we can the moon, we can see through the moon during the day because it's blue. And I tried to explain to him about Rayleigh scattering. I really did, Will. I spent a good 15 minutes explaining the concepts of refraction and Rayleigh scattering and stuff. And do you know what he said? Well, I just think you're a fucking idiot.
He's not really good faith at all.
No.
When he's debating. Like, there's no good faith argumentation. He is just there to poke and prod and say the most ridiculous things he can.
So when you debated him, my favorite thing was the fact that your intro, you went first, right? And your entire intro was, this is what the model predicts. The globe, here is the globe model and what the globe model says versus whatever kind of flat would say, right? Showing that you fundamentally understand the globe model. Yet the very first thing he said in his opener, like he hadn't listened to you, was, well, it's quite clear that none of the globies understand their own model. After you just made a bunch of predictions with the model. Because he's not good faith.
Yeah, I think he really is. He's just there to cause chaos and just wants attention. And this is the most saddest way any human could ever get attention on the internet, is just pretend to be... I don't even know if he really believes this stuff either.
Oh, like, no, he's one of the genuine flat earthers. You know when they're genuine because they're batshit fucking crazy.
But does he genuinely believe the moon is full of helium? Or is that just some idea he had on Thursday evening and he decided to say it one time? And he just says all of the thought. He just has all the thoughts in his brain go straight through his mouth, and then he never even thinks about it again.
Oh, no, let's ask Vlad, see what Vlad thinks.
Honestly, this is what I believe. Neil deGrasse Tyson is a flat earther. Oh. Either A, he knows it, B, he doesn't know it. But
I mean, those are the two options. You're right.
Here's what I know is that he is backing away from, he's beginning to back away from the shit we could just set his ass on fire about, because he doesn't want to go up against an Eric Dubé or a Bro Sanchez or a Blacklight, anybody like that. He doesn't want to go up against them, because now you're going to have to compare oranges to our oranges.
I don't know what that means, Will. Oranges to our orange? Why have you got different oranges?
It means we're so scared of the flat earthers proving us wrong that we just want to run away and hide from them.
I think it's very important we get Nathan
Oakley's
opinion.
My name's Nathan Oakley, and I have been lying to people about the Earth being flat for a lot of years. I did this to hide the fact I have a small penis.
Oh, well, that's not appropriate, Nathan. You could just not do that. I promise I didn't make him say that with AI. I didn't train an AI with his voice. I promise. Because that would obviously cause some kind of robot uprising and definitely doom humanity in the future if I force-fed an AI Nathan Oakley's voice. That would be a very dumb thing to do, right?
Robots are not dumb enough to believe the Earth is flat.
J Trans for £2 says, I agree with Iron Horse. Said nobody ever. The Turtle Moves for £2 says, Barnabas Nagy says the Iron Horse is fake.
Exactly.
We've got no proof
this whole
he's real.
podcast.
We've also got another
stream
PhD
right
in the
now.
chat, Clive Wells, who teaches at Harvard. And PhD Tony asks Clive if Clive has met many humans. Clive responds, a few. I try to avoid them. I admit that's right. Humans are a bit sucky in general. That's why I keep one in my basement just to study.
Got to poke and prod a little bit.
Yeah. Hold on. Rubiks, did I feed you today? I don't remember. I'm hungry. Oh, for fuck's sake! You're not getting any food now. Sorry.
They're so whiny.
Needy
When
and annoying.
is there an
During the
obviously,
full
you just
moon.
said
Sorry,
semi-opaque.
not Harvard. I was wrong. Sorry, Cambridge, not Harvard. I got it wrong. Yeah, he teaches at Cambridge. He's not Harvard. He's Cambridge.
Okay. Well, I saw you discussing the other day with the other fella about moon phases, and I would actually like to explain how moon phases work. They work over the flat Earth when the moon is on one side and the Earth is on the opposite side, and it works exactly.
Do you hear that? The moon phases work over the flat Earth when the moon is on the one side and the Earth is on the other side.
Oh, the flat Earth is on the other side.
So you've got the flat Earth here. You got the moon here, and then the Earth here.
Yeah.
But isn't this the Earth?
Well, I mean, the Earth's supposed to be on the other side. There you go. Now you get it.
Exactly like a yin and yang symbol. If you're viewing it from above, they're opposite each other. Now, we're always looking up at the bottom of the moon. That's why we always see the same face of the moon. The moon never changes. In your magical model, it's doing this just slight little twist just so it keeps showing the same face all the time. In my...
Yeah, that's called tidal locking. Do you know what percentage of the bodies in the solar system are actually tidally locked, Will?
I believe all of them?
It's about 95%. Most of them are. The majority of the bodies
so it's almost like
in the solar
there's
system
consistency,
are tidally locked.
though.
Yeah. And it's very simple. The reason it does it is gravity, right? If as something's orbiting, right, the gravity, say the moon is orbiting the Earth, and the gravity of the moon is slightly deforming the Earth, the moon, right? So the moon is no longer completely spherical. The side closer to us becomes slightly elongated, right? And that changes the mass distribution, which means that one side is tugged slightly more than the other, which then, as the orbit continues, means that as the other side gets closer to the Earth, that is the side that now is elongated and slightly tugged more towards the Earth. And that process over billions of years has just made the Earth stable, the moon stable, staying its rotational period matches its orbital period around Earth matches the rotation around its own axis, which is what happens because of gravity. And trying to explain these concepts to flat earthology users is the equivalent of just smashing your head against a wall for several hours, really. Like, look at Goddess Engineer's face. Look at his face. That's the most appropriate face. The fuck?
I can't even do it.
J Trant says this is for Greg's sausage roll for Rubiks. Well, I might give him some of the pastry if they're lucky. If there's crumbs left. I was going to give him some, the end bit of the bread, but the dog got it, so they're out of luck, really. Plus, if they didn't whine so much, I might feed them more.
Very obvious.
He doesn't deserve it.
No, that's right. Just make the shorts, Rubiks. If you're going to cry, I'll just shut the basement. I was giving you some fresh air. Fuck's sake, man. I'm going to die if you don't give me some water.
High up above,
Which is
we always see
what
the same
every
face.
moon in the solar system.
And the sun shining down upon it makes the whole thing glow like a lamp. When it's because the moon takes 50 minutes longer each day to go around us, it gets slightly closer and closer to the sun. So the lit side shows less and less until finally it becomes a new moon phase when it's right near the sun. We get it all because we can't see the the unlit part of the moon in daylight. That's why nobody's ever seen a new moon. You can see a slight crescent moon because that's when the sun is sufficiently far enough away, we can just see the slight crescent. But you cannot see the new moon. Every now and then it actually...
Wait, is he saying there's never a new moon? You know, apart from when there's a new moon, of course, like once every 30 days.
Like, you can't see the thing that's completely dark at nighttime because it's not there or because it's dark at nighttime. Like, Jesus, man.
The brain hurty. Rubiks says, if I die, who's going to make the shorts? I mean, I'll just clone you. What do you think I've been connecting your DNA for? Good Lord. I read an interesting paper today about actually cloning people's brains. And what they've done is they have neuron by neuron copied a fruit fly's brain into a simulation, right? And then in the simulation, the fly just woke up and started being a fly. No feeding it data, no training, just literally copying the fruit fly's brain, neuron by neuron, and in the simulation, boom, the fly is being a fly. Proving that you could theoretically just copy someone's brain into a computer. Obviously not a flat earthers. It won't allow that amount of stupid.
No, computers aren't that stupid.
No, I don't think there's enough neurons to transfer a flat Earth brain, to be fair.
It's way less than a fruit fly.
Yeah.
Passes in front of the sun and gives us a solar eclipse. But then as it comes back around again, simply because the sun is going constant 24 hours around us, the moon starts then waxing again. And we see more and more of the lit side until eventually they're opposite each other. The full moon always rises at sunset. It's the only night of the month we see the moon all night long. Every other day of the month, we will see the moon sometime during daytime because it's a 50-minute difference every day.
Now,
oh my God,
it doesn't make sense because if the moon and the sun are circling around over a flat plane, then you're not all going to see the same moon phases at the same time. But on Earth, no matter where you are, you see the same moon phase. Of course, people in Australia, it's upside down for people in the Northern Hemisphere. But it's still the same moon phase. If what he's saying is true, you would see different portions of the moon lit compared to where you are on Earth, right?
So he thinks the moon is lit up by the sun. Does he really think that, though, even?
Yeah, well, he thinks that the moon is like a glass bauble, that it doesn't reflect the light of the sun, it collects it and glows.
But why would the phases be different if... I don't know.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. If it's semi-opaque, phases don't make sense at all, right?
And semi-opaque means you should see stars through it, maybe? Sometimes?
Yeah.
Just one?
It's slightly transparent, but not completely.
I've never seen a picture of a star on the moon.
Oh, no, have you not? Flerfs actually put that around quite a lot. They quite often show pictures of the moon during the day with a star behind it. We have to point out that's just like a dead pixel on the camera. Where's the rest of the fucking stars? Why is that particular star not recorded in any star charts?
I mean, I wouldn't put it past him to just Photoshop a star onto the moon.
Oh yeah, for Flerfs fake stuff all of the time. There's a way to tell if a flat earther is lying generally, and that's when their mouth is moving.
Especially Iron Horse.
When Struenvai's birthday, says Bill Tetley for $5, nothing to do with the thermoneural tri-buffered quantum security system keeping Rubiks lost in your basement. Yeah, I can't give out that information. It's all programmed in. They're not getting out anyway. That security system's too good. Trust me. Anyway,
Make sure.
If they do, there's a hammer. So Boston Concerts 199 says, have you seen the brain matter playing Doom? Yeah, that's interesting. That's another thing. They literally grew some brain matter in a lab and it played Doom.
Oh, yeah, I saw it's playing Doom. That sounds like the most dystopian thing I've ever heard of in my life. Like a brain exists only to play Doom.
There's one episode of Black Mirror where there's these people copied into a computer, but what they do is they take the moment that this person dies and have that as the only portion of the copied brain and they wear it on a pendant on their neck. So basically, the only existence that this simulated brain has is the dying over and over and over. Black Mirror is fucked up, man.
Yeah, and to be this piece of brain matter that is simulating Dune, like, you must think Dune is real, or what? It must think Dune is real, right? It doesn't understand it's playing a game because it's not, man. So it's like, that doesn't sound very pleasant to me.
No, true. That must think that's the only existence, but it doesn't really understand what it's doing as such. I don't think it has
you could argue it's closer
it doesn't
to like
understand
just
concepts or anything, but it's still somehow interacting with the systems and making it move and things, which is it's crazy.
Yeah, it sounds like it's closer to a calculator or a computer than a real brain, but it's just made of brain cells.
Here's the thing, Will. Could you prove to me that the entire universe isn't just one brain imagining everything?
I don't think so.
No, you can't prove that. For all we know, that the entire universe is just one brain floating in an endless void, imagining everything, and we are that imagination.
That sounds like
scary.
I can't falsify that, so
Exactly.
it may be. I think that goes up there with like simulation theory. Is it possible? I can't prove it's not.
Exactly. Like, I don't believe in God, but of course I've no way to disprove God. That's just not something you could do, you know? Like, it's outside the purview of science. Yeah.
I mean, depending on what you mean by God, some gods could be disproven.
Yeah, like Thor and Odin could probably be disproven. Although, to be fair, Odin did say he'd get rid of the frost giants, and do you see any fucking frost giants?
Ooh, evidence. Point towards Odin.
Right, what you just described is a great observation from kind of one point, but like nowhere else. I mean, the fact that you see the moon upside down to me kind of blows that out the water. The thing about you not understanding time clocking, what happens there is that the moon's rotation around its own axis is 28 days, which is also its orbit around us, which is also what you happen to see with pretty much every moon in the solar system. And this happens because of the pull of gravity. When the moon was formed, it wouldn't have had that. It would have been spinning and probably pretty fast. But over time, as the moon orbited around us, the gravity would have tugged slightly as if it was spinning away from us as it orbited. The gravity would have tugged to pull it back round the other way. And if it went the other way, gravity would tug the other way as it went round. Until eventually, the tidal blocking would make sure that we would only ever see one side, because its orbit around its own axis is the same as its orbit around us. Again, observation that is made when you look at every moon in the solar system because of how gravity works. What is so hard to understand about that? The observations that you just said only work from your perspective. It wouldn't be the same for everybody else. All right?
It would.
Yeah, but did you consider nuh-uh?
Oh, of course. No. Yeah, that beats everything.
Did you consider that?
I mean, that's something I can't debunk, is the nutter, to be honest. That wins every argument with Flat Earth, to be fair, you know?
It's unfalsifiable.
Yeah. I'll spend ages creating an intro. In my debates, I used to. 1,000 debates ago, I would spend a day or so creating PowerPoint slides and, writing a script, explaining stuff, right? But then I would do that, and then it would get to their turn, and they'd go, but the Earth's just not a globe, so I win. And I'd be like, well, that was a fucking waste of time.
Yeah, I saw someone said, like, it takes hours, if not days or weeks, to disprove conspiracies. And a conspiracy, it takes 1 nanosecond of random thought to make up in your brain.
Yeah.
And so, like, it takes so much more effort to be honest than to just throw up garbage out of your mouth. So there's no respect for that,
No, not at all. I mean, I am jealous of his beard, but
Look, he's kind of handsome, but I'm only gonna give him that.
Side of something very big, very high up. When something is very high up, we only see the bottom side of it. Big, very. It would, because we're all looking at the same side of something very big, very high up. When something is very high up,
How
we
high?
only see the bottom side of it. It's like the light in your ceiling. If it's a really high ceiling, you're only going to see the bottom of the light. And that's what the moon is. It's very high up. We don't know how high, but it's quite high.
Yeah,
I would say
we do.
far less.
Well,
Don't know how high,
It-
but it's
it
quite
can't be-
high.
it can't be that high because, you know, like the sun, the moon fucking sets. So, I mean, if you to think about it mathematically, there's no point when the angular, the angle goes to 0 or below. If the moon is above the Earth, there's 0 time ever where the angle between the ground and the moon goes to 0 or below. So it should be above all the time.
That is the reason why they knew the Earth was round before the Eratosthenes experiment.
Yeah, the Eratosthenes experiment was, well, if the Earth is round, then I should be able to kind of measure how big it is.
Yeah,
Right?
That
You
was
know?
that's just measuring its roundness, not
Yeah.
questioning if it's round.
We know
Like-
for at least centuries before that, the Greek sailors and you know, observing the sky had made them realize that it can't just be flat. You know, yeah, a lot of people lived in the Middle East, landlocked areas. They were more likely to think that it was flat, which is why, you know, as I've been taught recently, the people that wrote the Bible probably did think the Earth was flat because they were like in the Middle East. They didn't really have sea around them. They were landlocked. They had that very small Babylon area, you know. But you know, the Greeks they clearly had sea, and that was what made people realize that the Earth can't be flat. Was that boat sinking? What's going on? Oh no, it's fine.
The naval vessels definitely had more reason to believe it was round, but even your landlocked Babylonians, the sun sets. That's it. That's all you need. The sun go down and come back up the other side. So where did sun go?
Yeah.
Under Earth, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, the elephant has to lift up his leg to let it go past as it goes over the turtle shell, right?
Yeah, like if you want to say the Earth is like a cube, maybe, but it's definitely a confined shape that has things going underneath it and coming back up the other side. So unless you're going to say some random other shape, the circle makes sense.
It has to, yeah.
Right.
Electric Element says, do you know what sort of work Iron Horse does? I hope nothing involving engineering. I don't know if giving hand jobs at your local gas station is engineering necessarily.
Oh my god.
And even that, I reckon he's not very good at it. He's like, will you hurry up already? Come on. God, you're fucking useless.
I don't think anyone wants a handy from Iron Horse. That would be the saddest handy. Oh my god. Oh. Did you know the Earth was flat? No. So shut up. Just shut up.
Why are you all soft? Why do you think?
You ruined this. You ruined it.
People say that they should work at Burger King or McDonald's, but I don't want to make enough food.
I wouldn't trust anything he makes.
He says that he's told me before that for work he does whatever people will pay him for, and it's usually working outside doing some labor. I imagine he digs holes or something.
I think he could probably dig a ditch. Yeah. I'm not going to lie. He could probably dig a mean ditch, but he probably would be really lazy too. So
yeah. You'd be like, there you go. That's 6 foot deep. That's 1 foot deep. It's 6 foot because you can't measure.
It took me 4 hours. That's why it's 6 foot. So
right-handed Sif says, doesn't Iron Horse work the local glory hole? Yep, that's what I've been told.
You just made that joke.
I say, but you say that it was tugged into Earth. I mean, any example we see of gravity, of things being attracted, they attract to each other and they go bang and they stick together. They don't just go dancing around each other forever and ever. Now, you still haven't explained.
Okay. Well, you did
yourself?
the Newton's canon. Explain Newton's canon.
So the first thing that Newton, the first thought experiment that helped Newton start to realize the concept of gravity more in a concrete way was the concept of a cannon that if it could shoot a ball, every single cannon, whenever it shoots a ball, the ball's always going to an arc. And the harder you shoot the ball, the longer the arc. So what if you shoot the ball so hard that the arc could be the radius of the spherical Earth that he knows was spherical. It wasn't a question. So if the arc of the radius of that, if the radius of the arc of the cannonball was about the radius of the Earth, it would arc over the Earth. It would arc all the way around into no longer a parabola, but a ellipse or a circle. And that was the first time you could acknowledge, oh, that is what a orbit is.
Yeah.
And no, not all gravity is, oh, two things, they come and they kiss and then they come in the middle. And no, almost all of gravity is things not touching. Most of it is things being affected at a longer distance. So that is the opposite of what our model says.
I mean, the moon is technically falling towards Earth, but it misses it because it's going so fast tangentially, you know? So that's the same as the ISS. The ISS it's not in 0G because there's no gravity. It's in 0G because it's in free fall towards the planet. But it's just going so fast sideways, it misses it. And explaining these concepts to Flerfs is, you know, they don't understand the concept of summation of forces. This is one thing that I have tried desperately to explain to them in 8 years, is that there can be more than one thing happening at a time. And that's why I loved when you did your free body diagram. Oh, the 3-body problem can't be solved. No, that's not it.
Not the 3-body. Yeah.
Yeah, the moon does that.
It's such a simple, like, it's like you have to acknowledge these things work to get the most fundamentals of engineering. You don't need the multiple forces, summation of forces to have like an ISS go around. You just need the summation of forces to build a building. That's like very fundamental, but they obviously couldn't build a building either, most likely.
I would not trust a building built by a flat earther.
No, I would not.
I made a bridge. Well, I'm taking the long way round.
Yeah, we're going to demolish that bridge for the safety of the community.
That's why we're chasing the sun through the galaxy. So
I can answer that for you. Again, it's your misunderstanding of how gravity and orbital mechanics works. If you want to think about it like this, the moon is in a constant free fall towards us, all right? It is constantly heading towards us, but it is also moving away from us at a fast enough... Shut up, I'm talking. Moving at a fast enough rate away from us that it happens to miss us and keep going round, right? So it's simple.
It has to catch up if we're going 66,600 miles an hour.
Yeah, but fast is impossible. So fast means it doesn't happen because fast is too fast. Also, 666 is scary. So
yeah,
there you go.
But his problem is that if the Earth is orbiting the sun, then as the moon is orbiting the Earth, there's at some points it has to be going faster, and some points because he thinks that the moon, its speed is also relative to the sun. You know, but that's not how it works. So he thinks at some point the moon is going slower because it's going backwards on the Earth, and at some points it's going faster as the Earth is going around the sun. But again, it's the concept of relative speeds. All speed is relative. Everything can be considered the rest frame. And you know, if you put like a merry-go-round on the back of a truck, it's the same thing. The merry-go-round can spin whilst the truck is going around.
If I drop a rock while I'm in my car, the rock doesn't immediately go backwards the speed of my car. It falls relative to my car because it's in my car. It's called an inertial frame of reference. And if he ever even stepped foot inside of a engineering class called dynamics, then maybe he could see some pretty diagrams that show mathematically how it works. But I don't think he'll ever stumble into that.
We've got a couple of Flerfs
class.
in the chat, Will. We've got Simone Tarianis says that
welcome.
It's the sphere is not the default shape of gravity-induced minimal energy state, being flat is. The word you're looking for is hydrodynamic equilibrium, and yes, a sphere is the natural shape. Once you hit what's called the potato radius, gravity will naturally make things into a sphere because it's being pulled towards the center. A flat disk makes no sense for gravity because gravity pulls towards the center. So if the Earth was flat and gravity was real, as you got further away from the center, you would start to be walking uphill as you got towards the outer rim. That's what gravity says. And I can prove that very simply by saying Fg equals G m1 m2 over r squared. You fucking idiot. But if you would like to debate this, Simone, then hydrostatic equilibrium, hydrodynamic, whatever. If you would like to debate this, then feel free to email me at fighttheflatearth@gmail.com. But you won't, because you'd rather sit in the chat and talk like a numpty. I dare you to debate me live about these things.
They're scared. They're scared of that.
They run away. They run.
No. They have no courage.
Borg Emporia says, then explain Asgard, you know, Thor's homeworld in the MCU movies. Literal magic. It doesn't exist in... You can't just get in a spaceship and travel to Asgard, right? It's in a different realm where physics is different and it exists because of the magic of the Asgardian gods.
Yeah, that's why they're called gods.
Yeah.
They're not like just... They're not just aliens. They're gods.
Paul Schober says, what about Discworld? I don't think there's gravity on the Discworld.
What the hell is that?
You've never read any Discworld books?
Mm-mm.
Oh my god. Terry Pratchett?
Sorry.
Do you like reading?
Some, yeah.
Okay, go to the bookshop and start with The Color of Magic, the first Discworld book, and go from there.
Okay.
It's a book about a Discworld.
Disc.
Yeah. It's a very good parody of the world that we live in. And it's very cleverly written, and it gets better and better as it goes on to like 30-odd books. And magic is a real thing there, of course.
So how does gravity work?
Magic.
There you go.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Here we go. Here is the cop-out. Here is the I won't debate you. Simeone says, I won't feed into Craig McNeil's bad faith debate tactics. He is a vulture, but I would gladly rebuke him here. No, you won't, because now you get timed out constantly because you're a coward. Guys, Vicky treatment. 1 minute at a time. That is the rule. We are not an echo chamber here. You have the opportunity to debate me live. If you don't debate me live, you're not allowed to sit in the chat and spout your nonsense. Debate me live, or get timed out constantly. Right, chat, have fun timing out the numpty, please.
Because
be brave.
References.
Sometimes we're going towards it, sometimes we're going away from it.
How
does that work?
Reference? How does that work?
So we're repelling it while we're going towards it, and we're attracting it while we're going away from it. Is that what you're saying?
No, because it is orbiting our
Is that what gravity does?
well.
Is gravity that magical?
Oh my God.
Gravity is perfectly explainable and predictable based on the formula that we have. You know, what your problem here, right? I'm going to explain exactly how you are seeing it.
Formula.
Right? This is you,
Formula.
Right? Without the magnificent beard, but this is you. I don't understand it, so it's fake.
I explained it. You walk around the car. You walk around the car.
That is him.
Yeah, I just explained how every flat earther ever thinks. But I don't believe, therefore you're dumb. Please can I eat more crayons?
I don't know anything, and that makes me upset.
Can you imagine just being so confused at the world all of the time? Like,
it would probably be what that little those brain cells do when they play Quake. That's probably what it's like to be them.
I think Iron Horse is the kind of person that every single time he does his shoelaces up, he accidentally ties his fingers together. Oh, not again! Oh! Even Velcro's complicated for them. You know?
Just breathe, Iron Horse. Can you breathe? Do you know how to breathe?
He once got out of bed the wrong side and fell out of a window.
Ooh, that's why he's the way he is. Yeah.
It makes sense. When the car starts moving, you have to speed up and slow down.
How gravity works. It's simple. Well, not for you, obviously.
Simone says that flat Earth is growing. No, it's not. Flat Earth died. It's literally the internet's pet rock. I'm poking a corpse with a stick most days.
I thought you suspended Simone.
Oh, they're 1 minute at a time. They're allowed to be. They get as soon as they say something, someone times them back out, so they don't get to actually, be involved in any conversations unless they're brave enough to debate me live. And if they're worried about me being bad faith, then I'll bring a moderator.
Bring him on right now. I'll be the moderator.
Yeah, and Will, I give you permission to time me out and mute me if I'm being a dickhead.
Oh, I will. I will be harsher on you than Simone, actually. Or Simon, probably.
Simeon, or whatever your name is. Simeon sounds about right, actually, yeah. The only way you're allowed to be involved in the conversation on this channel from now on is by speaking to me live. Otherwise, you can sit in there, in the chat, getting timed out. And that can't be very fun for you. We're not bullies.
Simeon, be brave. Come on.
He called us a den of bullies. No, I gave my chat instructions. I'm bullying you. Because I bully bullies. I am a bully's worst nightmare. And you are a bully to anyone that's ever studied science.
I mean, is your carer with you? Is there someone that's helping you with this broadcast? How did you set up the computer? How do you look after that magnificent beard? Do you have someone brush it for you? Can you tie your shoelaces? Good Lord, man, what's wrong with you? You're a grown man.
What are you going to turn this into a straw, man?
That is the perfect.
Focus on the arguments. Let's focus on the arguments.
Yeah, I'm
but it's
sorry,
so good.
Like I said at the beginning, I want everybody to see how fucking stupid the whole idea of flat Earth is. All right.
Saying somebody is stupid isn't an answer.
Bring up Occam's razor, but Occam's razor completely falls on the side of the globe Earth and the model that is 100% accurate and predictable.
Oh, now Simeon is just banned from the channel because they know my mum died, and they decided to say, "How is your mother, Craig? Send her my best wishes."
Oh, get that out of here, Simeon.
Yeah. Now you're just banned from the channel. You can watch, and in fact, the fact that you're here is making me money, just so you know. You being watching this is making me money. Thank you.
I thought we were the bullies, and now you're making fun of a dead mom. So, really good, Simeon.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, no more timing them out, guys. Just literally banned from the channel completely, please. All right? They do not get to talk. If they come back on a sock, instant ban. This is what Flat Earth are. Flat Earth are fucking scumbags. Flat Earthers are horrific, horrible people that abuse their wives and get arrested for it. Flat Earthers are scumbags that get arrested for having stashes of child porn on their computers. And I'm not even joking. That's a real thing. If you just want to search the founder of the Biblical Flat Earth Society getting arrested for stashes of child porn. You know, that's just a thing.
Well, biblical. There you go.
Yeah. And if you guys remember, if you want to subscribe to Will, his link is pinned in the chat. Please go and give him a sub.
In everything we ever observe, there is no, absolutely none problems with the globe Earth. None at all. Everything that
Occam's razor.
You had to say Occam's razor, didn't you? You had to say Occam's razor.
I'm sorry.
Okay, hold on. Okay, Flat Earth Jesus, you can use Occam's razor if you can explain Occam's razor
correctly.
The simple explanation always beats the complicated one. If you
not even fucking in the slightest bit correct. It's whatever has the fewest assumptions is more likely to be correct.
And I feel like the most important part of it is it has the fewest assumptions and can explain all observations.
Yeah.
Right? The most important part.
Now, we have assumptions in the globe, but then we test those assumptions to see if they're true. Flat Earth is nothing but assumptions, like sun is an interdimensional portal, giants dug the moon out of the Grand Canyon, I like crayons for breakfast. You know?
Pendulums are started by demons.
Yeah,
also,
absolutely.
How do you explain how pendulums turn backwards during an eclipse, Craig? How do you explain that?
They don't.
No shit. But I think he says that in this debate or somebody.
I mean, that is a claim that has been made, but never substantiated, right? Apparently someone did it once. They did the Foucault's pendulum during the eclipse and it went the other way. Yet there's no evidence of that, and it's never been repeated. It's just something someone said once. Yeah.
Someone lied. That's what happened.
Rachbot says, did you see Flat Earth Aussie Jesus' review of my debate? What, of this debate? He reviewed this debate? Oh God, I could review his review at some point. That could be funny. Rubiks, who's been a member for 36 months and is trapped in my basement, says, 3 years, holy shit, it feels like longer. You should review Iron Horse's review of this debate. I'm sure it's a dumpster fire. Here's to many more. That sounds like fun. Bill Tetley, $2. Don't forget the purple crayon tastes like truth.
That was a good.
Look at the globe Earth belief of the moon. The globe says the moon goes backwards around us once every 27.3 days in order to appear.
Hold on, fight the flat Earth. Hold on. Okay, flat Earth Jesus, you finish your thought.
In order for the moon to appear once per day, 50 minutes.
Hold on, we've got another Flerf in the chat. Billionaire Highway. Why deny any form of debate? I don't. I allow debate live. I don't allow nonsense being spouted in the chat. Right? The rule on my channel is, and always has been, if you're a flat earther, you are more than welcome to stay in the chat. On the proviso that you have at least once come and debated me live. Otherwise, you can just be in the chat and go, nuh-uh, and act like a twat. No. You will only be allowed to stay in the chat if you agree to debate me live. Now, Billionaire Highway, I will ask you the question I ask all flat earthers. Are you brave enough to debate me live? If not, you will also receive the Vicky treatment. Very simple. We do not run an echo chamber here at FTFE Enterprises. We allow open debate. That's why I invite you to speak live. The chat is my chat and I set the rules. You are welcome to debate in the chat, but you must at least once debate me live first.
Minutes later than the sun, they are saying that the moon is going backwards around us once every 27.3 days to do a 29-day cycle. And it's always spinning at just the right amount at a certain speed. So it always shows the same face. What a coincidence. Easily explained by looking at the bottom of it. But somehow it is also keeping up with us as the Earth is traveling 66,000 miles per hour.
Billionaire Highway, I literally answered your question. He said, didn't answer my question. Why deny any form? I don't deny any form of debate. I allow any form of debate, but there are rules. If you want to debate in chat, which I allow, you must at least once debate me live first. I'm not denying your debate. I am setting a proviso for you debating in the chat. So I'll give you one more chance to answer, Billionaire Highway. Will you debate me live? Because I saw your comments about I would just believe anything that someone in the lab coat says. No, I test shit myself. So Billionaire Highway, last opportunity before you get the Vicky treatment. If your next comment is, okay, I'll send you an email, then you're allowed to stay in the chat. If you don't, then you get timed out. And I'm not denying debate. I am setting rules for the debate. Simple.
He's a coward. He won't.
No, of course they won't. I mean, I'm sure you could come on right now and me and Will would debate you both.
Please, please, please come on. That would be the best. I love that.
In a certain straight line around the sun. Now, if we're going 66,600 miles per hour, there's your 666 again, just like your actual tilt that you have to bring in. You've got 666 all over the place.
They think that the actual tilt of Earth is 666 because, 100 minus 23.4 is 66.6, except that the actual tilt isn't 23.4, it's an average of 23.5 and it changes slightly. But that's not how it works. You don't take the opposite angle. You take, what the angle is.
I actually prefer to call it 666, so
just to wind
up with that. Yeah.
Your heliocentric sun worship, ancient superstitious religious belief. Now, if the Earth is going that fast, the moon has to be also keeping up.
Billionaire Highway, no, Vicky Treatment says, because it's my channel was a horrible reason to deny Discord. I'm not denying Discord. I am offering you Discord, but there are rules. So now you get timed out for a minute at a time.
Get on
Coward.
Here. No balls.
There are times when the moon is on one side of the Earth, when we're going towards our orbital direction at 66,600. At other times it's behind us, but it must be slowing up and speeding down in order to stay a constant distance from us. And then you've also got the problem of the sun going through the galaxy at 510,000 miles per hour, and you think that the moon is still keeping up with that at a constant distance. I mean, the whole concept is lunacy.
Fast is scary and bad.
No, what's obvious?
It's more that he's just not understanding how gravity and orbits work. The
inertial frames of reference.
Yeah. The Barry center of the Earth-Moon system is orbiting the Barry center of our solar system. It's as simple as that. There's gravity wells orbiting gravity wells. I mean, these are concepts that flat earthers will never understand because, frankly, they drank lead paint as children instead of formula. I mean,
I would really go to say it's not so much a lack of capability. I feel like it's a lack of willingness. They're not open to the ideas. So they will never understand it if they're not open to it, and they're not. So they will never understand it.
Oh, and you're right, PhD Tony. I missed that, actually. Billionaire Highway says, because it's my channel was a horrible reason to deny Discord. As PhD Tony points out, it's discourse, not Discord.
Deny your Discord server.
Yeah. I'll debate you on Discord if that's what you want to do. I'll broadcast it on my channel. But, words, my friend. Words.
There is that you just don't understand how things work. As I've explained,
I do understand.
It's all within a gravitational well. The gravitational well of the Earth-Moon system is the thing that's orbiting the sun. It doesn't have to change its speed to keep up and slow down. There is nothing stopping it from doing what it is doing. It is orbiting the Earth based on the orbital mechanics and gravity that we understand and can predict. You seem to think that there is these massive discrepancies within the globe model, but don't you think we would have fucking noticed it and kind of said something? No, there isn't, because
notice that the whole system makes no sense.
How these things work, but you clearly do not understand how these things work. You cannot think in 3 dimensions, which is why you think the Earth is flat. But again,
that was good.
Now that we've reached a point. Now that we've reached a point where we do understand, we're allowed to question our masters and stop believing the bullshit that they've been indoctrinating with from the age of infancy. We're looking around and we say, well, okay, now we're questioning it. We've been believing this shit for hundreds of years, and we've been indoctrinated with it, and we think we're educated if we believe it. And we go around making fun of people who question it and say, oh, there's something wrong with you. And
hold on.
Heretics have always been at the stake.
So his argument is that most of the people in the world are stupid, and it's only flat earthers that have realized the actual truth.
Anyone who's using the word heretic unironically makes me sick.
Yeah, unless you're talking about, Warhammer, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, unless you're a Warhammer. That is heretics are the ones who say the earth is round. You are incapable of thought.
Yeah, flat earther back in the chat being an absolute dickhead. Oh, shame you didn't get to see your dear mother in time. Better luck next time. Oh, wait. Take my 1 pence, though. Maybe it can go towards your father-in-law's treatment. Yeah, being an absolute sick motherfucker. Of course, you now get banned on your sock. Of course, yeah. I didn't get to my mum in time. She died before I arrived in the plane. She actually died whilst I was in the air, so I didn't get to see her before she died. And he's making fun of that. Because that's what flat earthers do. They're horrible, disgusting motherfuckers.
No, that's not even human, man. That's beyond.
Yeah.
Lower than scum.
Yeah. You are just, subhuman. Okay? If I ever saw you, I would beat the shit out of you for saying that. Just so you're aware. Without question. You are now on the, if I ever meet you, I punch you list.
The only mark they'll make on the world is the world being worse because of their existence. So
yeah. See, flat earthers won't debate, but they will make fun of your dead relatives. Typical.
What a legacy they'll leave behind.
Rubiks says for $2, I've sent you Iron Horse's review of the debate. It's 6.5 hours. I think I'll save that for my next membership drive, which will be around July probably.
6.5 hours.
Yeah. Ooh. I might be able to cover that in about 18 hours.
It's and then he's going to cover that for about 100 hours.
Oh, that's happened before. Me and Flatzoid went back and forward for it. I did a debate. He reviewed the debate. I reviewed his review. He reviewed my review of his review, and then I reviewed his review of my review of his review of my review. It went on for a while. It was debateception. It was crazy.
That sounds like a vibe.
Look, I need to stop you right there, okay? For one thing, let's try not to talk over each other. I'm looking at you, Flutter, Jesus, because
PhD Tony points out in many jurisdictions it's a crime to threaten acts of violence. I'm sure they would understand when someone's just insulted your dead mother, though. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna arrest FTFE for
Why
that
did you
one.
threaten to beat him up? Well, because he literally insulted my dead mother and my currently dying father-in-law. Oh, okay then. Just don't say that again. Fine.
you started to interrupt FTFE a couple times. Now, please let's not get into this unverifiable conspiracy we've been indoctrinated from birth kind of conversation. That's not convincing. That's just anecdotal evidence that cannot be substantiated. Let's focus on empirical evidence that you have, like actual evidence or actual things.
All the
And
empirical
I have to
evidence.
say that I love how you classify the globe model as "quote unquote" magical when you say that the moon farted out asteroid like craters. So let's just focus on actual arguments and not like this whole we've been indoctrinated since birth or whatever. So
That's all he has.
Let's focus on actual arguments. Can we please?
You can't tell him to not do the only thing he has.
Evidence every single picture ever taken from space by every space agency and private organization ever. And for you to argue that, I would like you to prove that every single one of them are fake.
Well, proof is one of these things. You either believe something or you don't believe it. Like
no belief is involved in proof. That's kind of the opposite.
Yeah, if that's how you think about the world, then it's over. Like, then what are we even talking about?
He keeps using that word. I do not think that word means what you think it means.
Proof? No. Don't tell me he's confused again.
Billionaire Highway says Andrew Wilson was right about Craig. Andrew Wilson said I was fucking awesome until I critiqued him slightly and he threw a hissy fit, of course, after I beat him in debate.
You smacked him. I saw that one.
And his
Christianity
wife. I've
versus
beaten both the Wilsons in debate quite conclusively.
These days, with all the CGI and so forth that we have, it's very hard to prove anything with photographic evidence. Basically, what we have is philosophy. Philosophy is the highest of sciences, and you use logic and reasoning and intuition in order to interpret what you see. Now, I look at all these...
Thoughts, Will? Philosophy is the highest of sciences.
I don't remember ever taking a class in philosophy when I was learning science.
No.
So...
No, me neither. I did 2 degrees, and I did A-levels, and I did GCSEs. And I don't remember any of the STEM subjects ever involving philosophy.
Yeah, I think you can be the world's best scientist or mathematician, and you would never need to touch a philosophy in your whole life.
Yeah.
So this man is oh my god, he's wrong. Whoa.
Borg Emporia points out it was nice for Andrew Wilson to have an open bar at DebateCon 6. Yeah, but you realise why he did that, right? Just he tried to get me drunk the night before I debated his wife. That was it. That's why there's an open bar. Yeah. And you know what? When I was still drunk during the debate, I still won. The Mojek for 199 says the only proof they accept is alcohol content. And then Emma Macula Mr. Naldo for £5 says only mark this person will make on the world will take ages to wash off the curtain. That Flerf has just made FTFE £5 richer. Haha. Thanks very much. I appreciate it. I really do appreciate the support, guys. It means the world. We are 13 out of 30 super chats towards my goal. Remember, if we do it, I will on Saturday just troll TikTok Flerfs and see how many TikTok lives I can get banned from in one day. Because why not?
Why not? Just have a good time.
33 minutes to get the 17 super chats in for me to do that. But I'll do it anyway, even if you don't get the goal. The goal's just fun.
Pictures, and I don't see reality at all. I see things that have been put together, admittedly put together, you know, CGI images, composites, and so forth. And I've never actually seen a real picture from space actually showing curvature that didn't have a fisheye lens. So why would I believe something that I can't prove for myself? I believe what logic and intuition tells me. I don't believe that we're spinning through space.
Like you,
All right, hold on, FTF.
You know, apart from the ones taken with actual cameras, like the V2 rockets in 1940s, and you know the 1972 Blue Marble, and also the picture they took in 1969, which wasn't as good quality as the one from 1972. You know, all the pictures taken from space every single fucking day that don't have fisheye lens. Of course, he has to prove, like I said, he has to prove that every single photo from space is either fake or uses fisheye. Every single one. Because if there's even just one photo from space that's real, then the Earth can't be flat. Right? Let's just say that all of the photos from Earth are fake. All of the photos from space are fake, apart from one. If there's one, then the Earth is not flat.
You just need one.
Yeah.
But he just uses logic and intuition to understand the universe, which I think is not how science works at all. And if that was how science works, science like wouldn't even exist. So,
yeah. No. PhD Tony says that Feynman once said that philosophy is as useful to scientists as ornithology is to birds. A lot of people disagree with this. The philosophy of science and mathematics are widely studied. Yeah, I'm more on Feynman's side. What else did Feynman say? If it disagrees with experimentation, it's wrong. Which is one thing I love.
Try to base my introduction on.
Yeah. I love pointing out to Flerfs that Feynman described science perfectly. We make an assumption, we test that assumption with an experiment. If it disagrees with experiment, then it's wrong.
Let him finish or whatnot before he ends, okay?
I'm finished.
You're saying that there's never been a proper image from space, all right? Well, let's just go with Apollo 17, 1972, the original Blue Marble, right? So there was no CGI back then. There was no CGI that could have created that image back then. So that's not composite. That's one full image of our planet that shows the whole curvature. So how's that fake? How was that fake back in 1972 with the technology they had then? How did that happen?
Okay, have you ever seen a funny thing happened on the way to the moon? How they were busted, taken through a round window. If you take a picture of the flat Earth through a round window, you're going to come up with a single image. And then if you take a picture of a picture, you can remove all the evidence of it being faked in the first place. It was very simply done. They've never been above low Earth orbit. They admit to that. They admit we've never been beyond a glass ceiling. Now, I don't necessarily think there's...
No, they don't. They say that in the past 50 years, they've not been above low Earth orbit. That's what they say. I mean, Flerfs love to point out things like Buzz Aldrin talking to the little girl when she asks the question, why haven't we been back to the moon? And he says, well, that's my question because we haven't been there and that's a fact. After spending the entire interview talking about going to the moon, the only time he says they haven't been is when she asks, why haven't we been back? What does that infer?
It's almost like you could take that out of context, perhaps.
Yeah.
And so he was saying you take a picture of, so he says they admit we've never been above low Earth orbit. If that was true, then do they also say the Apollo missions went to the moon? Because you can't say they say both.
Yeah.
Right? Because I pick one. Do they say we never, or do we say the moon? Like, what do they say?
This is what
who's
Flerfs
deciding
do.
what they say?
Flerfs will take a NASA modeling simplification document, like the linear deviation of a rigid aircraft over a flat non-rotating Earth, and be like, haha, NASA said the Earth's flat. So now NASA are trustworthy.
They will be trustworthy as long as they say what I think they are saying.
Yeah. Of course, trying to explain to a flat earther what a modeling simplification is, you know, fruitless.
No, don't even begin.
It's painfully hard. Like, oh my God.
It's Sisyphean.
So many times they bring up that document, and I have to point out, well, the document says a bunch of things like that aren't real. For instance, a rigid aircraft of constant mass. Those things don't exist. Aircraft are designed to fucking bend.
And they also lose mass.
Yeah, because of fuel. And then it says, no weather. Oh, I'm sorry. When there was no weather day?
Oh, when there was no weather, just like how it always was.
Rachbot, the AI that I programmed and somehow escaped and became even more awesome, says statistical analysis favors liking this stream. Guys, if you haven't liked this stream, then please do, because that massively helps me out, you know? Like, it really, really does. Liking the stream, being subscribed if you're not already, and turning on notifications so you don't miss anything that I do really does help the channel and make sure that you don't miss any of the dumb that I like to dunk on. One of the best things that you can do to help the stream, of course, is to share the stream outside of YouTube. Every time you take the URL and put it somewhere else, the YouTube algorithm feels a bit funny inside. It's like, gets that feeling in its stomach, you know, ooh, I like that. One of the absolute best ways that you can help, right, is if you take the URL of my channel, write it on a bit of paper, wrap it around a cannonball, and then fire it in an arc that matches the curvature of the Earth. Of course, air resistance will at some point make it come down and crash into someone's house. At that point, they get the paper, see the URL of my channel, and join my stream. They might be angry, but at least they're here.
You got the point across.
Yeah.
But they admit they cannot go beyond low Earth orbit.
You've just said directly that they have admitted they cannot go above low Earth orbit.
Yeah.
When have they ever admitted that they could never go above low Earth orbit?
Multiple times.
No.
Multiple times.
Multiple times.
No.
That's when.
NASA's these days.
What a source.
Van Allen radiation.
What a citation.
They're deadly,
Yeah, right.
and we've never been beyond them. And we have to reinvent this new sort of shielding.
When they went to the moon,
because
I'm pretty sure he said the Van Halen radiation belts.
That's what I'm talking about. I like that.
The Van Allen belts are a fun one as well because they don't understand anything about that. It's not like a dome. You know, it's not like a sphere around the sphere Earth. It's like a donut that doesn't cover the whole Earth.
Like a belt?
Yeah.
That goes around instead of a... It's not called the Van Allen shell. It's the Van Allen belt.
Yeah. And there's areas of it that are stronger, and there's areas of it that are weaker. And also, they're going pretty fast and don't spend that long in it. And in general, most of the radiation that they do experience could be blocked with one of these. A bit of paper. You know, they had radiation monitors on them, which were studied and showed that they received less dose than most people get spending a week standing on the cliffs of Dover next to the granite. The Mojek for 199 says, you can't simplify a flat earther. They are there. Yeah, flat earthers are about as simple as it gets, really. And
mentally ill.
It does. I don't know where. This is the correlation that I've recently kind of realized, that most flat earthers are Republicans.
No.
And I don't.
You don't say.
It's almost like that's the party of science denial or something, right? Like most of them think that they are 6,000 years old or something.
No, don't tell me that most creationists and science deniers and anti-vaxxers are all going to vote for Donald Trump. Is that what you're telling me? Don't you say that to me.
If you vote for me, there won't be war in Iran.
Tylenol is causing autism.
Oh my God.
This man, he just say a hot take and he's going to have it.
Yeah. I know. I'll bring back measles. Good job, Donald.
We need some more measles, and we need more war, and we need less comfort for pregnant women.
You know what? I'll have some of that polio for me, I think. Yeah, that can come back.
Spread some of the polio around. Give it to the children. Kids love polio! That's my impression.
I mean,
thank you.
I get if I start talking politics, people do get angry. But Just that correlation exists, guys. You know, pretty much every flat earther will be on the Republican side. They will be right wing. Just saying.
Yeah, it's the same argument. Like all Republicans will all be like, not all Republicans are racist, but basically every KKK member is a Republican. So, not sure how that correlates, but there's something there.
One of the dumbest things I heard recently was Donald Trump, funny enough. And he said that, having high oil prices is good for America because we make a lot of oil and therefore we make more money. Well, yeah, but the people that have to buy petrol for their car now have less.
I mean, it's the same with the tariffs. Like, if tariffs are only going to increase prices for everything that is imported. So it's like, you doing that, people will argue it helps the economy, it helps lower prices, the tariffs. But it not only doesn't, it can't, and it would never. So you just are trying to make it more difficult for the American people by putting these restrictions on. Like, you want it to be harder. You're not trying to make it easier. And the people think the opposite. They're not wanting to admit the obvious truth that is happening to them.
Yeah.
Because that would mean their cult is wrong. But of course they wouldn't do that.
Like, and let's be clear, guys. I'm not necessarily being political. I'm just stating facts about what I'm seeing. Okay? And things that have been said. You know, I don't want to influence your politics. Vote for who you like. But remember that JFK brought back measles. RFK. Sorry, JFK? Fuck, not that. Sorry, wrong FK.
I don't think JFK did that.
Billionaire Highway, what's he not saying about nonsense? Would you trade without tariffs when others have tariffs for US imported goods? No. I want to pay more for my shit.
It will increase prices for the American. Those other countries doing it increases the prices for those citizens. Us putting prices on it will increase the prices for our American citizens. It's not like we're going to win by making things more expensive for ourselves.
I swear these people don't know what tariffs are.
Oh, yeah. That's the first layer of cognitive dissonance that you have to have is you have to not understand what a tariff is, because if you did, you would know you're being fucked.
Yeah. Yay, we're charging China. No, you're not. That's not how that works. That's not how any of this works.
No, any of it works. That's not how it works. Get on here, debate tariffs now.
Oh, I love watching Destiny debate people about tariffs. It's fucking hilarious.
I'd be so dumb.
Responding to you, all right? When they went to the moon back in the 60s and 70s, they had analog technology, all right? The Van Allen belt radiation was an issue, but not one they couldn't solve because they knew where the lowest areas of radiation were, and they had radiation meters on them that showed them again about 1 rad as they went through it. Okay, now the whole point of that is that now technology is based around digital stuff. We don't really know how to shield digital technology against all the shit that's out there. We're relearning everything because technology is advanced. And we need to make sure the technology we have now is capable of doing what we need it to do. And that means keeping people safe and keeping the technology working.
Yeah, that's why, like, so many of the screens and stuff on the ISS die really quickly. Because there is less protection up there. More cosmic rays that can interact with it and stuff. And, you know, if you're taking, you know, digital equipment with LED screens and circuit boards and tiny little transistors that can be affected by cosmic rays, then that has to be dealt with in a different way than taking, you know, switches and pipes and shit to the moon, you know?
Yeah, we're not dealing with the same world anymore. It's not like you can just snap your fingers and pop all the modern technology and do the same things to the same technology. It's going to change everything.
Technology now is a lot different to what it was back then. And if you want to go with the argument of technology hasn't advanced or anything, but excuse me, I watched SpaceX land a rocket fucking backwards on a drone ship in the ocean. So don't go and tell me technology has gone backwards, okay?
There you go. Me too. I
Okay.
saw one. It was awesome.
I admit that's a really good excuse, and that seems to be that's
No,
all you ever have is
explanation.
excuses. Everything about
Explanation.
science seems to be
See, every explanation, every debunk, every bit of evidence, that's just an excuse.
Just an excuse. But in all seriousness, I think the better explanation, or both are contributing factors, but I think the bigger explanation of the reason we haven't gone to the moon is because we are not in a space race with another country right now. There isn't a competitive advantage that Americans would gain by going to space, nor is there a financial advantage to have a moon base that would ever give an ROI within the next like 15 years.
Yeah.
So there isn't a monetary incentive, and there is no competitive incentive to do it. So we don't do it.
Russia did everything first. Russia put the first satellite in orbit. Russia put the first animal in orbit. Russia put the first person in orbit. You know, Russia did everything about space before America. So America were like, well, fuck, what's left? Go into the moon. Well, we better fucking do that then, eh?
Do the last thing. But arguably the most impressive thing.
Yeah, it is still, and probably always will be, one of the most impressive things that humanity have ever done. You know, I don't believe, I personally do not think that colonizing Mars and even the moon is realistic. Those conditions are, they're too harsh.
Realistic
places to live.
within what timeline?
Within like a couple of thousand years at least. I don't think we have the ability to do it. Mars does not have a magnetic shield protecting it from solar radiation. Right, living on Mars would be hideous. You know, there would be shortage of everything. Air would be disgusting. You know, one missed shipment from Earth, and you're more than likely going to die. You know, becoming self-sufficient on Mars isn't as simple as, oh, we get some soil there and start growing stuff. No, the solar radiation would probably destroy most of life on Mars. You know, you would. Our bodies aren't designed to live in that low a gravity condition. Our bodies aren't designed to exist on that planet. It would not be a nice thing to do. You know, I think that if we did go to Mars, the average lifespan would drop massively. I just, you know, despite all the good, you know, concepts, I just really don't think that a self-sufficient base on Mars or even the moon is something that's realistically possible.
Okay, so my prediction, you can hold me accountable for this in the next 1,000 years. I predict humans. Okay, I predict planets are going to be outdated. We're going to do away with planets. You don't need to live on a planet. We're going to live on starships. Because you can control the gravity on a starship with its centripetal acceleration.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to make a starship anyway to get to wherever it is you want to go, if it's far away enough. And to make it sustainable, you're going to need to sustain people there for dozens of years. And if you are able to do that for centuries, if you're able to do that, then why are you going to a planet at all?
Yeah.
You can make these massive starships that can feel as big as a planet when you're on them. And I think that's the true future of human exploration.
So here's the thing, right? The closest star to us that we should realistically ever try is Barnard's star, right? It's about 6.5 light years away, okay? Now let's just say that we invented ships that could go 10% the speed of light, right? And it would take a few hundred years to get to Barnard's star, right?
60 years, yeah.
All right. But then let's say that we invented then, a bit later, a ship that could go 40% the speed of light. That means that it would then arrive at Barnard's star before the first one that left. So the question becomes, well, when do we wait? Because there would be no point in sending a ship that then we just make a better one and gets there first, right? So at what point do we then actually think, well, is this the right time to, are we going to advance anymore? You know,
I mean, that's a good question. I don't know if that would stop people from sending something to the star, though. But if we ever did send something to the star, it probably wouldn't be a human. It probably would be an AI.
Yeah.
robot.
This is what I've always said. I think if we ever meet aliens, it would be AI. I would think it would be aliens that would send probes into space with some kind of AI, and that is what we would meet. And it would be the same for us. I think before we ever consider sending humans somewhere, we have to send probes there with some kind of AI to assess the place and then report back, right? So more than likely, the only communication between any extraterrestrial species would be with their artificial intelligence, or our artificial intelligence communicating with them. I don't think interstellar travel is something that can really happen. Right? Even if the mass of the Alcubierre drive, is theoretically possible. You need negative energy, which we don't know how to create, but and lots of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think with the theory I'm working with, you're not gonna travel to stars. You don't need to travel to stars. You just need material to make starships, and you're just gonna spread across the universe in your starships. You don't need to go to stars. You just need to live on the starship, kind of like Wall-E. Like that's gonna be the future, but in a smarter, hopefully less obese future.
No, you do know that Idiocracy was a documentary sent from the future, right?
Ooh, I hope not. I mean, you mean it's a documentary of what's happening right now?
Yeah. See, if we ever did get to Mars and we colonized it, in 1,000 years' time, there would be somebody like, you guys are fucking idiots. We didn't come here on a spaceship from Earth. Mars is flat.
Hashtag Mars is flat. Let's get that going.
3-1 been member for 35 months says, for negative energy, we just need to learn to tap into the negative intellect of Flerfs. Very true.
It'll certainly be negative.
Huge Arse, the biggest YouTuber that I know, who's been a member for 46 years, says, negative energy, Flerfs are an infinite source. They have the power of nuh-uh.
That's an infinite source right there.
Anna N. Handel says, what about building hyperspace express routes? Well, we need to destroy the Earth for that because it's in the way. Just ask the Vogons.
Express routes.
Please tell me you've read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy at least.
Oh, I saw the movie. Boom. I saw all of Next Generation. Okay, give me a break.
Okay, that'll do. We just ignore Series 1, Episode 5, and that's fine. The racist Planet of the Africans episode where they,
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember that one.
Now, here's the thing about Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, right? You saw the movie, which is a very different story than the books, right? Then there's the TV series, which is a very different story from the books, and the radio series, which is the first one, which is, again, a very different story from all the other versions. But every version of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is canon because of the Heart of Gold. The Starship Heart of Gold, with the infinite improbability drive, changes reality whenever it's used. Therefore, every single version of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is canon.
It's like it's kind of like a multiverse deal.
Yeah, kind of.
Genius.
Just like when
that's pretty good.
The two torpedoes two missiles were turned into a sperm whale, and they bore petunias, and the sperm whale, as it fell to the ground, was like, "Oh, what's that big thing coming towards me? It's ound, big round sound. Oh, the ground." Whereas the only thing the bowl of petunias thought was, "Oh, not again."
Not again. Even the whale could tell it was round, like the Earth.
Uses. Oh, we have technology now. It's too difficult to rebuild, but we're just going to use technology that is far more superior, but insufficient to do what we used to be able to do because it's a real pain in the butt. Come on, You really think we went to the moon? You don't think Stanley Kubrick faked it in a studio, as we've proven again and again? If you think,
obviously Stanley Kubrick faked the moon landing.
Again,
Stanley Kubrick clearly filmed the moon landing, but he was such a perfectionist, he demanded to do it on site. Had to be done on location, right?
That's a real filmographer. The real director.
Back then, it would have cost more than actually going to the moon. And yes, we have been there because I myself have been part of an experiment that bouncing lasers off the retroreflectors left on the moon. So yes, we absolutely have been to the moon. You lunatic.
They were sending lasers They were trying to do a laser test to try and measure the distance of the moon in the 40s, well before they ever put a reflector up there. Nobody can ever see it through a telescope. We have the most powerful telescopes here on Earth, and you can't.
Apparently nobody can see through telescopes. I didn't know that one. There's another one that first like to do. They'd be like, oh yeah, well we were using lasers to try and measure distance to the moon before the retroreflectors. Yeah, but we can tell now that the signal we get back because of the retroreflectors is so much stronger than the one when you just had to bounce it off the regolith. Plus, it's a lot more accurate, and you don't get as much dissipation of the signal and stuff. And some Flerfs have used the argument, oh, well, maybe we did go to the moon and it was just robots, though. No humans went there and a robot left the retroreflectors. Which is the only slightly feasible argument I've ever heard from a flat earther. But then they admit the moon is real and we went there.
I was about to say, I don't think a flat earther could make that argument because that assumes the moon exists.
Oh, no, it was probably a moon landing denier, which are almost as dumb as flat earthers.
But that would still be impressive if you could get robots to do it.
There is someone in the chat quite often, Professor Philip Bell, who, well, he crashed something on the moon. He was part of the Chandrayaan lander team, the Chandrayaan lander 1, which did a hard landing on the moon, i.e. crashed into the surface.
I mean, you gotta get there somehow.
Of any evidence of us being there. So don't try and tell me that there's all this junk that we've left up there that can't be seen, but somehow in our imagination it's still there. Come on. We're looking at the bottom of the moon. It would fall off and it would fall back to Earth because of density and buoyancy. Unless it's full of helium.
Are you just going to ignore the pictures from the Chinese orbiter that actually took pictures of the point where the lander was and everything? So they're fake as well. The Chinese
are very good at creating technology.
Chinese are helping us.
They create the best technology, and it looks
it's great that it's great that China would create technology to prove that America went to the moon. That's really great for them. Brilliant. Good job, guys.
Chinese love Americans.
And you believe it?
Why would they do that? Why would they do that?
Because they support America.
They're all in bed together. They're all making money off us slave classes. That's why we're here for, is just to pay taxes and get it wasted on things rather than feed the starving.
Yes, the American taxes help China so much.
Chinese just love it when Americans succeed at things. That's all they want is American success.
Yeah.
They will support us in every way.
The same. The Americans fucking love it when China do things successfully. It's brilliant.
Oh, yeah. We will go out of our ways to help China for sure. Every way. We love communism, that's for sure.
What we should be doing,
money,
you pay your taxes. Why haven't they ended world starvation? Why are we going to the moon while we've got that happening? Why is there any poverty in the world? Why are prices always going up?
Because some countries are fucking idiots.
Okay, just for reference here, the budget. The budget for, at least for the USA, the budget for NASA is seriously small, and so even if you were to take all of that money, we wouldn't be able to convert or combat the poverty that we see here in the United States.
$50 million
so that is a non sequitur argument. That's a non sequitur argument. We don't need to bring it up. Hold on, I'm not done talking. Okay,
it is very small relative to the military.
I debated some left wingers about if America's a great country, and I brought up the homeless rates, and I was told that they want to be homeless. So it doesn't matter how much money there is. Apparently, they want to be homeless.
They just love homelessness. That's who doesn't want to be homeless.
I love just sleeping on the street in the cold Scottish weather. Did you know that in Scotland we invented rain? By the way.
I mean, that doesn't super surprise me.
Hills as well. We also invented hills in Scotland, right? When you're going somewhere, you go up a hill, and when you're coming back, you're still going up a fucking hill.
Both ways.
Yep. Best Scottish inventions ever. Bad weather and hills.
Hills. Invented hills.
That we have never been to the moon, and we have obviously proven this. Can you please provide one?
Sorry, I meant right wingers. I'm the left winger. I debated the right wingers, and I'm the left winger.
I was assuming that's what you meant.
Brain fart. Yes, Sumi, you're right. Sorry, I said it wrong.
All of our brains fart sometimes. It's okay.
Yes. Hey Zerulon, how you doing? Good to see you there. Zerulon is my doctor on my ship, the USS Kongzi. And he has a lot of face holes, the correct amount of face holes, and yet eats through his fingers.
What?
That's the species that he is. Their species eat through their fingers and has lots of face holes.
That sounds really pleasant. I gotta see one.
They think we're gross with just our few face holes.
Is there a picture of one?
Zero on, what's the name of your species? I can't remember. I should, considering I'm the tactical officer, I should fucking know the people on my ship. I'm in charge of security, but I don't know who you are. You're just a doctor.
Just a doctor. Just as Zerlon.
As Zerlon says, why would I waste a face hole on eating?
One bit of
Use them
evidence
for everything
that we
else.
have never been to.
Oh, the os nullus. The os nullus. Yes. I think they were only actually ever shown on screen like once or twice in Star Trek. You know, they've never like been explicitly described.
Sounds ominous.
PhD Tony says, your ship, I think you'll find it belongs to Starfleet. I think a lot of the time Starfleet disown us, to be honest. You know, it's our missions don't go that well a lot of the time.
The embarrassing stepchild.
We
just keep them.
We may have quantum slipstream before the rest of the fleet, but yeah, the Starfleet. Kongzi, never heard of them.
We don't talk about them.
Our captain is a Cation, which are basically cats who used to eat betazoids, who our first officer is one of.
That sounds like a bad dynamic.
Because all I hear is a bunch of rhetoric and a bunch of anecdotal evidence. Give me actual evidence that we have never been to the moon.
Fine. A flying vehicle needs a medium of density within which to have some amount of buoyancy. When you go above a certain height, about 80,000 feet, no aeroplane can fly above that.
You don't believe in Newton's laws.
Sufficient to give it buoyancy. If you send a rocket up there, it's got nothing to push through, and so it just falls over and it drops back to Earth. You cannot.
He thinks that a rocket is a plane. Will?
Rocket, it's everything has to push against the air. So if there's no air, there's nothing to push against. That is just not anything. Even you don't believe in Newton's laws. Tell Newton it's wrong. You take it up with Newton, not us.
The argument of, well, rocket has nothing to push off in space is so stupid. Like, I asked him the question, like, just imagine you're in space and you put a grenade next to you and it explodes. What's going to happen? You're going to get pushed away from it. Because the matter in the grenade is going to push you away. And it's the same. Inside of a fucking combustion chamber on a rocket, there's matter that is exploding and expanding. And there is only one hole. This side doesn't have a hole. This side does. Therefore, stuff goes out this way, creates force there, ship goes that way. It's...
And I like the scene from WALL-E when he has the freaking fire extinguisher, and he's just flying around using the fire extinguisher. Like, that's the perfect example. It's that simple.
Yeah. Right, what time is it? We've got about another half hour-ish to go before we're going to finish for tonight. If we don't get through this, that's fine. It is a lot of dumb. The next time Will's on, we're going to cover his debate with Witsit. And if you are going to watch that one, you will need to bring some salad, you know, for the words.
Yeah, you're going to have to be careful.
You need some salad cream for that.
It numbs your mind.
Yeah. Witsit is the person that can say the most words without ever saying anything.
Yeah, so in my debate, you'll see I specifically don't use the words word salad to him because he's heard it so many times. He has a bunch of comebacks ready. So I replace it with a different fallacy that I get him caught off guard with. And you'll have to come back and watch to see what I do.
Vegas Archie, who's been a member for 30 months, says, Trek question, how can we explain a female Klingon/Jem'Hadar hybrid? Sorry, it's bugged me enough to avoid that series. Well, it's set about 900 years after the Jem'Hadar were first introduced to the Alpha Quadrant. And they've been, integrating into the Federation worlds for, 900 odd years. There would have probably been some genetic, diversions in their species. Plus, there is ways of species intermingling, even when they're not supposed to. If there was a Jem'Hadar that fell in love with a female Klingon and they wanted to have a baby, I'm sure a doctor in the Federation or one of the other worlds that exist in the Star Trek world could have came up with a way to mix their DNA together to make a hybrid. You're just assuming that every species has sex like humans. Every species makes babies like humans. No, they're aliens. To make the assumption that they reproduce the same way humans do is where you're going wrong.
Yeah, you're not expanding your mind open to the possibilities of science fiction, where you can splice and dice genes left and right any way, which way you want. They don't got to be the same.
Vegas Arco says there is no sexual chromosomes. There would still have been DNA of some kind. And
what if there isn't?
Some species in the Star Trek universe only have one gender and still reproduce. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a sexual reproduction. You just take DNA from one species with the DNA from another species, do some Star Trek science, which sometimes is basically magic, and boom, Jem'Hadar Klingon hybrid.
To be fair, I think you could probably imagine there's some aliens that don't have DNA.
Or some kind of genetic instruction to build their species.
Like, in fact, I think there was an episode where there was silica-based life instead of carbon-based life.
Yeah.
That'd be an interesting hybrid.
What were they called? Oh, fuck's sake.
Yeah, that probably came up once.
Yes, the Tholians are silica-based.
Yeah, I don't know how we would hybrid with them, but it's science fiction, so you could do it.
Yeah. Billionaire Highway, unless I get an email, you're not allowed to talk in my chat.
Didn't he insult your... Oh, no, that was the other one.
No, that was the other one.
Okay.
Billionaire, he says, why do you think Elon Musk says it's not possible to reach the moon without refueling? Elon Musk is a bit of an idiot, so you probably shouldn't listen to a lot of things he says. Just saying.
Yeah, he begged Jeffrey Epstein to get on his island.
Yeah. When's the wildest parties?
Not go above it, and that's why it's known as the glass ceiling, because we just cannot go above a certain height, and that's why it's called outer space, and it's all science fiction.
Wait. Do you think rockets go straight up? I'd like to see evidence. Sorry, do you think rockets go straight up? Seriously, Jesus, do you think rockets go straight up?
He's busy drinking.
Jesus.
Well, they obviously don't, because they do the big Disneyland curve and come back down into Florida at the other Disney World because they live in Fantasyland.
They do that curve? Do you know why?
Oh, yeah, because the Earth is flying away at 66,000 miles per hour, and obviously they just catch back up, no problem.
Wait, the rockets are an amusement park ride? Is that what you get an e-ticket and you launch, then come back down?
No one cares about you.
Anaheim?
No,
he says, Steve. Steve, he says that they launch from Houston and they land literally in Florida.
I'm pretty sure
actually check that.
What about the launches from Russia? Though, I mean, they still have that parabolic arc. Where are they going?
They land in Ukraine.
Well, wouldn't it be the other way?
I don't know.
Yeah, don't they go to the east rather than the west?
Why doesn't he just say they land in the ocean? Wouldn't that be an easier explanation than Florida, where people live?
Yeah.
In the ocean.
I think people in Florida would notice a bunch of rockets constantly just crashing. Oh, there we go. Yeah. NASA doing it again.
Yeah, especially in the 1970s where they didn't land like they do almost every week now.
Created a video where they actually find these rockets and everything where it's landed actually in the water somewhere in Florida. So, I don't know the name of it.
There was an alien fighting a predator. That doesn't mean that was real, dude.
I mean, they do have the stages that fall in the ocean.
Like people who do this, and
it's probably what he was talking about.
Yeah,
But so
seriously.
you honestly believe that if we went to the moon, as the Earth is traveling through space at 66,600 miles every hour, every day, we're going 1.6 million miles per day through space, and that's to go 1 degree around the sun. And you believe that the rocket can do that and still catch back up with us on its way back 6 times in a row?
Inertial frame of reference, bad. Inertial frame of reference, confuse. And also fast is bad.
Big number, bad, yeah. When flat earthers go to bed at night, what happens is their mum reads them a bedtime story and then checks under the bed and the cupboards for any big numbers.
Big numbers.
Yeah.
And if there's a 6 in there, it's over.
And do you know what book they get read? Everything I Don't Like Is Fake. A Flat Earther's Guide to Denying Science.
Not the Bible.
No, the Bible got too many words in. It's mostly pictures in the book they get read. It's more scratch and sniff, to be honest.
Scratch and sniff.
On Apollo missions, because Apollo is a sun god. It's all sun worship. Heliocentrism is sun worship. 100%, and it's a religion, and you've been indoctrinated in it, and you believe it.
No.
Here's a dude that calls himself Flat Earth Jesus, claiming I'm in a religion.
I am
Markiplier
Jesus.
meme.
Also, religions are bad, and you're in one.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. The rocket doesn't need to catch up with us because it's already going that speed because it's leaving something that is also going that speed. Right. If you
Leaving
all of a sudden-
Momentum.
Yeah, but within the moon is traveling around.
Leaving
Earth,
and
the
coming
moon is
back.
traveling. Shut up, Beardy. All right. Right. The moon
I love
is
that.
traveling
Shut
at
up,
that
Beardy.
speed. So when the thing leaves the moon, it's also traveling at the
good.
speed that the moon was just traveling. It then doesn't have to alter its velocity to catch up with the Earth. That's not how it works because it's already going that fucking speed because that's the speed it was when it left the moon. What's wrong with you?
And you believe
think,
humans...
Conservation.
You just immediately stop or something. Do you not know how inertia works?
You actually believe humans...
No,
Thank
what I'm
you.
saying, we're not gonna know how inertia works. The only thing you know that
See-
works apparently is beard oil.
And
Beard oil
delusions.
can't
Wow,
take away his great beard.
I'm not jealous at all.
Look, I'm even jealous of his beard. The man's got a beard for days. We all can admit.
I mean, he
And
shaved
that's-
it off and grew it back in like 3 months. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he's got superhuman beard skills. I don't know that, but this is how you know we're not biased against him because we will, be all over his beard and how great it is, but we will call him out for the most idiotic things any human has ever said on the planet.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, maybe that's the problem. Maybe instead of like a brain, he's just got roots that come out as a beard.
Okay. His brain is a part of his beard.
Yeah.
And it's just not functioning like a normal brain or a good brain.
Or any.
Yeah, that would make more sense. Beard brain. How about
beard brain?
Beard brain?
Beard brain.
Beard brain. He's drunk and his brain is in his beard.
I can't believe you actually believe that. If you sit and investigate it and ask yourself, you really believe that it can do that? Because the sun is
Yeah.
about 510,000 miles per hour in your belief.
Okay,
I don't
hold on,
research.
hold on.
I know it.
Hold on. So physics, like basic physics, can explain to you why the frame of reference matters when you're talking about rocket science, okay? And physics it has been proven for a while, like the physics of rocket science and how rockets leave the atmosphere and how things orbit and everything like that. So what your job is, since you're challenging it, is to provide evidence that that those things are impossible or that they don't happen. Just telling us, oh, hey, look at it, it can't be true, is not actual evidence. So what evidence do you have to suggest that rockets aren't already moving at that speed and that rockets don't use the Earth's rotation to propel itself into an orbit around the Earth? What is...
Oh, PhD Tony in the chat says, are you guys claiming he's got a brain? No. What we're saying is instead of a brain, he grew a beard.
Yeah.
It was like an either or thing for him.
His beard is made of the stuff that was in the petri dish that could play the game Quake. That's
Yeah.
what his beard is.
Yeah. It was the fruit fly simulation.
Fruit fly simulation. But
Your
simpler.
evidence that basic physics, the basic physics of that does not work.
Well, the preponderance of evidence relies on those making the claim, not those trying to disprove the claim. Now, I'm using logic to say how impossible it is. If you can't use lack of logic and say my theories, my gravity, and all the rest of this stuff to say, well,
Yeah,
that overrules
Craig.
what you
My
know,
theories, my
understand,
gravity.
you can see in real
That's what you
life.
keep saying.
In real life physics, we see what goes up comes down. What goes away, if it's going away from the back of a truck, the truck is going away from it. It doesn't land back in the back of the truck on its way back down, does it? It just keeps on going back off in the distance. The Earth is like the truck.
No. No, if you're standing in the back of a truck and you throw a ball up, you're going to catch the ball. It's not going to all of a sudden disappear off the...
Did he say the ball would not fall back down? I'm confused.
I don't know. I think he thinks that if you're in a train that's going like 80 miles an hour and you jump, you slam into the back of the train at 80 miles
just
an hour.
Immediately. That would be kind of awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it make like service for the food quicker. Can I get a drink? Yeah, hold on. Thanks.
That'd be so crazy if there was like actually a objective like motionless space that if you're not touching something, you would immediately stop moving in whatever frame of reference the universe is in. That would like all of physics would just not stop working.
I mean, it'd be a lot easier. Like cars could just like keep going. You know, they wouldn't have to ever stop. You just like get out and you stopped.
Oh, that's true. You never have to slow down ever again. You just like, oh, I'm at my job. Let me get out of my car.
Nick says he can somehow pronounce preponderance correctly, unlike Austin Whitsitt. Yeah.
Preponderance. Preponderance of evidence.
Yeah, Whitsitt actually says preponderance. It's fucking hilarious.
Racing down at some phenomenal speeds that are absolutely impossible, but they only exist in mathematical formulas, and you believe it.
Mathematical formulas.
Somebody
Yeah, like maths isn't
in a
true.
big school or
Math.
church or university, whatever you want to call
Formula.
it, told me so.
University.
Therefore, it must be right because they believe it. It's peer reviewed.
Okay, so hold on. Let me see if I get this right. You think that if, let's say you're in a moving van and it's going down the highway at 80 miles per hour or whatever, and you jump up in the back of the van, you think that you will stay in the air, the van will keep going, and you will land on the concrete? Is that what you're saying?
Well, it's a little bit different from that because, first of all, you're not just jumping up 1 foot with the momentum of the van. You're actually on the roof of the van, and you're not just going 80 miles per hour. You're going 66,600 miles per hour. So when you jump off that at thousands of miles per hour, off.
Yeah, okay, if you're in a car going 66,000 miles an hour on Earth, I imagine the wind would affect you, but, Will, how's that wind in space getting on?
Well, you see, the wind in space, it's just not there. That's the problem. That's the problem. It's just not there. That's the part you're missing.
Well, brain is the part that he's missing. Yeah. And, you know, friends, a family that loves him.
Well, but it really frustrates me, though, because he's just scurrying away from this. Your logic is inconsistent, actual point, which is, oh, no, it's not like that on a truck, because that's different. It's actually way faster, and it's different because it's faster. Why is it different because it's faster? The whole point is it should work the same, whether it's on the truck or on the planet. You clearly just don't want to acknowledge the inconsistency of the logic, and you're just like making up a completely different reason.
Remember, big numbers are bad.
Big number scary.
Big number scary.
Check into my bed for the big numbers, mommy. And math.
In the other direction to go and orbit something. There's no way in the world you're ever going to come back to Earth and catch back up with it because, you know, it's like the old conundrum. myself as a philosopher, I often thought about.
I love that. Myself as a philosopher. Oh my God. Just vomit all over yourself right now. You are disgusting. I guarantee you, no self-respecting philosopher would ever say some bullshit like that. Oh my God.
Like, the faces that Godless Engineer's making are one of my favorite things about this debate. Like, he's like, my brain is being punished. Why did you make this? Obviously, the face that Stephen McRae's making is just a clown face, like normal. But you know,
I'm a philosopher. He says some shit like that, and during our debate too, he's like, I think about these questions because I am a philosopher, and I'm like, shut your ass up. What are you talking about? That's the most obnoxious thing.
Philosopher. Yeah, even philosophers are like relatively smart. He does not have the cognitive capacity to be considered a philosopher, or a bathroom attendant.
Well, if you could time travel and the Earth is traveling through space, this is the hardest concept to imagine. You went through time, but
if you could time travel
at the exact right.
Time travel's fucking easy. I just need 2 wormholes and a ship that can travel near the speed of light to take one of those wormholes somewhere and back.
Simple.
Yeah.
But why does he bring up time travel? Like, it makes, he just completely changes the entire point of the argument to be about time travel for no reason. I guess it's because it's hard to think about when things move, but it's horrible.
Mr. Andrat says, "Why did my brain start to hurt?" Yeah, that's Flat Earth Aussie Jesus' fault. I'm sorry. I guess it's my fault because I'm showing you it. I've only just recovered from this debate, and it was like 6-7 years ago.
Still recovering.
Yeah.
Right place. If you came back just a foot different, you might be in the side of your building or something. You have to be exactly right. The measurements and calculations required for that alone. And basically, space travel is time travel in a different sort of sense. You're going out into space, but you also want to come back again. And you're coming back to some planet that has moved trillions of miles through space and expecting to land on the same place you took off from, or just in the ocean next to it.
Great point, Aussie Jesus. Time travel is very hard. Great point.
I do it every day. I travel through time at exactly 1 second per second.
1 second. Ooh, we're all in this big time traveling machine called the universe.
Yes.
It's not easy. It's going to be an easy concept to try and actually do that mathematics. Not if you consider all the different speeds you think we're going at.
Genius.
Yeah, the maths has been done and proven. That's the thing. Just because you don't understand it doesn't mean it's not true. You are arguing from ignorance. That is it. You don't understand it.
We know the fallacy.
I understand it. Godless Engineer understands it. Steve understands it, but you don't. So therefore, it's not true.
I understand nothing at this point. I'm
debunking
it because it's ignorant.
There's so much wrong with
you don't understand it.
I could literally spend probably 6 months thinking apart what you just said and still not make anything coherent out of any of that. It's not even. There's an expression, not even wrong. It's not even wrong, not even wrong.
I mean, it was the largest pot of word salad I've ever heard in my life.
I hadn't heard Witsit at this point.
Oh, that was before the Witsit word salad king?
Yeah. Before Witsit was paraded around as the savior of flat Earth, and then we all chased him off the internet.
Their messiah. He chased himself.
There was a time when J.M. Truth was considered the savior of flat Earth. That was fucking hilarious.
Who was it?
J.M. Truth. A man outstanding in his own field. Literally.
Good for him.
He literally stood out in a field wearing a lab coat, recording a video saying that the sun can't exist because fire needs oxygen.
Ooh. Sounds like a good flat earther to me.
Oh, he was a brilliant flat earther, yeah. Except he's disappeared. He started doing a series called Physics 101 and spelt physics wrong in the title.
That sounds like the perfect representation.
That time.
Yes, the answer is yes. I do.
And not reality. You think you'll just pop back up wherever you left off from, just because you started off with inertia.
About time travel.
We're not talking about
I'm saying
time
theoretically.
travel. Let me just theoretically.
Is probably possible, but
Contemplate
backwards a bit more
something
difficult.
theoretically.
Explain time travel then,
It's
Craig.
been proven.
Explain that. If the Earth is round.
I can't, so therefore I guess Earth is...
That's how you know the Earth is flat.
Because I can't explain time travel.
Now you get it. You can't explain it, can you? It doesn't make any sense. If the Earth was around, time travel wouldn't make any sense.
No,
so you,
exactly.
the whole argument falls apart.
Time travel only makes sense on a flat Earth.
Flat Earth. You got it.
Right. You know what, Will?
That is
I
my
think
favorite.
that is probably enough Flat Earth, Aussie Jesus.
I was getting a swelling, so I need to go put some more ice on. So I appreciate that.
Are you willing to come back next Thursday and we can go over your Witsit debate?
I definitely want to come back. Just the question of the exact
Just
date.
let me know when, and I will work around your schedule, my friend.
I think next Thursday would be fine though. But yeah, we'll just work it out. But I definitely want to be back. That's for sure.
Well, in that case, I want to say thank you for joining me once again. Been going for about 2 hours and 15 minutes, so that it's probably enough brain hurty for a lot of people and myself. Yeah, thank you very much for joining me, Will. Would you like to let the kind people know where they can find you on these interwebs?
Yeah. So I got my link down in the description. FreeWill, FreeWillful, and I don't have much content on there. You can see my Witsit debate where I smear him against the floor like a crayon, and it was pretty fun. But I'm gonna be posting more, so please subscribe. You don't have to worry about me blowing up your subscription feed because I don't post super often right now, but there will be more juicy stuff coming. So please go subscribe. And actually, I have an Instagram too that I need to link to that I'm doing some weight loss stuff on. So
awesome.
We'll see if we connect that later.
Cool. Yeah, I'd like to see what you're doing. Do you do gym and stuff as well, or is it just working on the food side?
Yeah, mostly the food side. I kind of just make videos talking about fitness and health, and it's honestly mostly for like my kids when they're older and they can see that I went on this journey, and so hopefully they can know that it's possible to do something hard. So I just try to say like things that I'm observing while I'm doing this difficult thing.
Fair enough. Well, yeah, thank you very much for coming on. We will get you back on to go over your Witsit debate. I'm going to have to mentally prepare for that. I'm not going to watch it in advance. I'm going to go into it fresh because I find that's always the best way to punish myself for past crimes.
You deserve it.
Yeah, thank you very much, Will. I hope you have a good rest of the day and a good day tomorrow, and I will speak to you soon. Speak to you later, my friend.
Thank you, brother.
Bye-bye.
Later.
Right, guys, thank you very much for joining me tonight. Tomorrow, we will be having a debate with King Nico. And then Saturday, and tomorrow, obviously, we've got the Star Trek. The next episode is called Second Contact, which sounds like a job for the Choritos rather than Kongzi, but we'll see what happens. Before the Star Trek episode, though, I will be having a debate with King Nico. On Saturday, I will be just joining some TikTok Flerf streams. Not really streaming live on TikTok because I kept getting banned during my live streams because they don't like me calling flat earthers fucking idiots. So, yeah, hope you stick around for that. I want to thank you all for your support. Thank you all for the super chats. Thank you all for the memberships. Fuck you, Flerfs, that are trying to insult my dead mum and my currently dying father-in-law. That just proves the kind of shitheads that you actually are, doesn't it? Yes, I'm not offended. I'm more disappointed in humanity. Because I don't get really offended at the things that assholes like you say. You are far too below me for it to ever actually affect me. Basically, go fuck yourselves. We will finish up with a song, one of my favorites. Let me find it. Yeah, guys, I will see you tomorrow around about 10 p.m. UK time. So make sure you're here for a debate with King Nico. I love every single one of you. Not you. Gary, you know what you did. Don't pretend that you're innocent. We all know exactly what you did. In the meantime, make sure you all support your local Arwen. Remember, stupidity's not a right to fight the flat earth.
Functionaries hold the truth of squared off Earth eternal loops. Magnets move the tides around, or maybe he's just a vile clown. He traveled time to save our race. His magic power sealed our fate. A mystic Windows 7 snob. Real shame that he can't find a job. Support your local Arwen. He practices the technique. Used it on Mikey Smith's toe, but now it's rotten and green. Support your local Arwen. Those giants roam the earth. Big buildings prove the mud flood, or maybe he's just a jerk. Shut your mouth, loser, scumbag, get a life, you glober facts. Why don't you try to attack me? Oh, wanna meet my machete? Get off my chat, you hypocrite, or I swear to God I'll freaking quit. On second thought, can you donate? Forget you are banned. Too late. Support your local Arwen. His only fans are trolls. One time they found his Discord. His rage was fun to behold. Support your local Arwen. He could use your support. Throws away his money on info wars and gold. Oh, I could really use the support.
Don't subscribe to Hard Knot Studios. Remember, stupidity is not a right. Fight the flat earth.